Welcome back to our 13th session of the Art as Therapy. I'm Yuko. Today, we'll explore how art can help us to let go so as to improve our well-being. I'll also take you through 2 therapeutic art activities for letting go. Letting go is when we are able to let something or someone walk away from our life and accept the fact that things cannot be changed. We can say goodbye to these things or people and move on to where we can be and do something about the things that we can. For some people, letting go also means that they trust that things will get better. We may feel difficult to let go of the things that we hold on to. These can be things that we are obsessed about, or the things that we think possess us. These can be various things, objects, people, places, or circumstances in which we live. For example, a job, a position, or a title. Sometimes we feel rejected, we feel anguish or devastated if a relationship ends, or we get separated with someone when we are still deeply attached. Sometimes we feel abandoned when people have to walk away from our lives. We feel lost or confused if these happen out of our expectations. We feel pain and sorrow because we just feel that the pain will never go away. We cannot let go because we think that we have to hold on to the circumstance. This comes from a stage of our grief process, which is relevant to the stage of negotiation or bargaining in the theory of grief, first introduced by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross in her book On Death and Dying about the grief process of bereavement. The characteristics of this stage of negotiating or bargaining are like asking these questions. If I, then he will or then she will, or if you, then I will. Oftentimes, we want an answer and we tend to bargain until we feel satisfied, so we may hold on for long and get stuck in this stage. We need to make the decision and have an intention to let go. Behind such intention is the belief that letting go will help us to move on and live a more fulfilled and happier life. We try to learn from our experiences and stop the blame and feeling like a victim. We can also find comfort and support from someone else that can help us. We can express and process our emotions in a healthy way by focusing on the present moment and finding joy in life. Lastly, we can choose to forgive others and ourselves. Firstly, the effect of art to help us let go lies in the power of imagination to instill hope and change. With art, we can envision a better place and explore the unknown as we allow the spontaneous process to take place. A new image with symbols, metaphors, and even a visual element that evokes a feeling may help us to see the many possibilities ahead of us. Thus, we can find new insights of what our life can be and what we can do. Secondly, art making has the catharsis effect to release and express our pain in losing someone or something. In session 2, we learned about the emotional and psychological effect of creating art in releasing our intense emotions. With art, the intense emotions from experiencing a loss can be processed gradually by the individual to suit his or her pace of grieving. The artwork also serves as a container to contain all the emotions that are hard to explain in words or communicated to others. Lastly, art making helps us to focus in the here and now, and we feel soothed by the process either by the repetitive motion such as painting or coloring, which helps us to focus, regulate and calm down, or from the colors or movement in the image that make us feel alive and comforted. So today we are going to explore two activities for letting go. The first one I'm going to share with you is a method introduced by the art therapist called Abby Miller. Some people also refer it to one process canvas painting. The art maker only uses one canvas for a long time exploration of different feelings and thoughts over time. So with the same canvas, we can put on a lot of layers according to that day, your feelings or thoughts, or you can also come back to the same image. In a way, for letting go, you can paint an image that is so precious to you, and you honor that image, and you allow yourself to embrace in the process. But then, through time, you also try to let go bits by bits and try to make some changes to the image. And I think today I'm going to let go of this image in my mind. When we are doing one process painting, there's no limits to the materials that you can use. The most basic could be some paint, acrylic paint. You can also use other mediums like Chinese ink, acrylic paints, poster paints, and anything that you would like to use over time. And in the process, you can also turn your canvas around. Every time you look at it in a different way, see whether there are other possibilities in looking at the image. Let us start with this one process painting. So you just go with your feelings. How would you like to add or reduce or make changes to the existing image? So apart from your feelings, you can also use imagination, and sometimes it is really about the spontaneity. You just go with the flow and being led by the process. Like just now, I just started with the white color because I feel like I want to use the white color, but I don't know what is the next image. So I'm just putting some shapes around these areas. As I'm adding more colors and more strokes, the image start to change as well, and I'm seeing things while I'm adding on more colors and more strokes. When I'm adding on more layers of paint, and I'm seeing that the previous image is now merged with a new possibility. So am I ready to let go part of it? And I'm seeing that it is okay to change, to make a change. And sometimes the benefit of art is that there's no right or wrong. So we are here to try out the different possibilities. In a way, it helped me to think that maybe there's no need, or it's easier to let go of the previous image. Yes. So I have finished the first layer. In this method, it encourages us to take photos of every process. Feel that this layer is done, or this is an image that you want to take a record. So you can use your phone or camera to take a shot of this image, so then you can experience or re-look at your process of this one process painting, how the images have changed, and how you have let go of some of them, some of the images, and also perhaps how the meanings have been changed for you. Now I'm going to move on to the second layer. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the second layer. In this second layer, I just want to have a new chance to try out something different. So I just picked a color and then I want to cover it up. So I'm starting to see something very different and interesting for me. This process can be a catharsis for some people when you are seeing something that is completely new or completely new to you, or even you feel that rawness of an image like this. So you may feel either very calm or either, a lot of emotions can be evoked. But the advantage of this is with practice, you will gain more courage to really try out different ways to express your feelings. So now I think I have finished the second layer. From the process, you can see that there's still some relationship between the first layer and the old image, right? But after I put on the second layer, it is now a completely new image. For the second activity, for letting go, I would like to share with you this activity about carving. You can get this material, for instance, a wooden board from an art store or even a hardware store. Or you can even pick it up from the park, some fallen twigs or branches. So it's a process of, I would say, more like an endurance. It may take some time and strength for you to complete this process. So I think it's a very good way when we are grieving a loss. So during the process, you can slowly be embodied in the process. The carving process is also one that needs a lot of strength. Sometimes our pain and sorrow needs to be processed in a way that we can experience it in a more catharsis way. I've got a carving knife and also a needle. This you can get it from an art store as well. And I've also prepared a pencil. In terms of the size, you can also select something manageable for you. So for instance, this is a very small piece of wood. Today, I think of this symbol related to relationship that I want to let go. So I'm going to carve this symbol. I have finished this carving process. So just take your time. It is like the process of letting go. It takes a long time for us to let go. So be kind and forgiving to others, and more importantly, to yourself. We have come to the end of today's session. To summarize, we have explored the concept of letting go through art and how art can improve our well-being through the two therapeutic art activities. Hope you enjoyed the session. See you next time.